I think Charlie, this is Charlie Rankin. I forgot to introduce. Charlie is with Meet My Neighbor Productions, and he goes around and films different farms. And part of this whole process, again, thank you so much for coming today, is to communicate to the community all about farming.
Happy first days of summer. We hope spring has been eventful, and hopefully you have some crops coming out of the ground as well as some others in the ground. And if not, you should probably go do that.
We have a lot of new faces on the channel. Welcome. I hope you guys have had the opportunity to go back and check out some of the Meet My Neighbor Farm series on our channel. We've covered a lot of farmers from across the U.S. These guys are loaded with a lot of information that they were willing to share with our viewers and just to get the word out there and support these small farmers, especially with everything going on in today's society. So take a moment and go back and check those out. We still have one more episode. It's a much larger episode covering some urban farms. For those of you who feel like you're unable to purchase some land, there are some great ideas of how people are farming within cities, being able to grow food, enough food to actually make an income off of.
So other things that we are up to include trying to facilitate the next season of Meet My Neighbor. And part of that entails us traveling.
We are a nonprofit agricultural videography company. We travel the country filming small farms to help educate society on what small farmers go through to produce food and what local food sustainability actually looks like and the challenges that it faces.
You have the buying power and choice to take a moment and think about what you're supporting when you buy a package of ground beef or when you buy that head of lettuce.
The second we give up our food sovereignty, the second we give up our choice in where our food comes from, you become more of a subject of the food system instead of a constituent. And so we wanted to start telling the stories of American farmers so that people could see firsthand what actually goes on a farm. Do farmers really care about their animals? Do they really care about the earth that they rely on every single year? And I think that what you'll find is that a lot of these farmers, people who are actually independent farmers, care deeply about those resources. They care deeply about their animals and about their livelihood, and they care deeply about their community.
Good food connects us. It connects us to each other. It connects us to the earth. It connects us in ways that you wouldn't know that you needed until you began to experience.
It's the root, it's the basis, it is sort of the heart of humans.
Everybody go back and watch all of those farm series videos and give them a thumbs up.
Go ahead, Charlie.
We are unable to go out and film without the support of our viewers. I mean, that is really what drives our ability to go out and cover these small farms at a time when it's critical to improve upon our local food sustainability. The costs of our traveling are the most expensive part of filming because we have to get our crews across the United States to film farms, and we'd rather those funds be able to take us greater distances and cover more people. So we looked last year at an Airstream RV.
A Bluebird, an Airstream. We were exploring a lot of different options and ways to consolidate filming costs.
What do you think of it?
Have you taken a video?
I'm taking one right now.
I can't tell you the answer to that right now.
We, being film crew, are willing to, trek around in a camper or RV, and so we were trying to go with that frame of thought as opposed to hotels and Airbnbs and all of the things that go along with that.
So it is 12:34 and we are just getting in from filming, so we are calling it a night.
We actually settled on a pop-up as kind of a temporary solution to get us just out the door. You guys probably, well, some of you have not seen that renovation, but if you haven't, you'll need to check that out. That's in another video. But that is what we have relied upon to do some of the filming for this last season's of Meet My Neighbor, as well as for our documentary that we've been working on.
Yes, well, as you guys know, traveling across the country in a pop-up is really fun, especially when you're having to pop it up and take it down on a daily basis.
Or
traveling.
every 2-day basis.
Well, yeah, every 2 days when we're somewhere, and then every day when we're traveling.
It's a lot more work than we thought.
We ditched the camper last night and stayed in the Roosevelt. After a week and a half, almost 2 weeks in a camper, I think we deserved a hotel.
We would do it again if we had to, but we don't have to.
Yeah. Okay, so our big solution for how we can keep our productions going and keep them economical is we were able to acquire a 36 foot 1988 Holiday Rambler. It is the Cadillac of the road in 1988. So we've got Jason with Dean's Wrecker Service out ahead of me. I had to get a few dollars in fuel. I keep saying to myself, I'm gonna get 10 bucks in fuel and go on, and I forget that fuel's at like $4 a gallon or something ridiculous. But Dean's out in front of me, so I'm gonna follow him and we'll get this big giant camper back in front of our property, and then I guess I'll have to drive it onto the property. So here we go. This is a new adventure. This is the things we do to bring you guys entertainment, I tell you. And this was a great opportunity for us because it came from partial payment and partial donation from a guy named Ralph. Ralph is a really nice guy. He made a partial donation on this, which made it happen for us. But it still needs a lot of work, so you'll get a lot of videos on how that turns out. Okay, so there it is. We got it in here last night. We had to drop it across the street, and I had to drive it back onto this side because the truck with the 36-foot camper on it wouldn't fit in our driveway. But I discovered at that moment in time that it certainly does not have brakes. The last time this thing was really serviced was back in 2015, which was only 5,000 miles ago on the odometer. But when you look at things like tires for something like that, it has 8 wheels on it, cost a couple $1,000s, and those tires haven't been replaced since 2015. They're dry rotted. It hasn't been moved very much at all since 2015. 5,000 miles in that many years is hardly anything. So it has some quirky things. Didn't have brakes when we first brought it here. That was interesting. We drove it around the property, we just couldn't stop it. I rolled it, I tried to stop here, and I ended up stopping down there because of the brakes. So that was kind of a fun little experience. But we've taken the brakes completely out now, so that's improving. I finally did it. I'm not gonna tell you how much fun it is doing this stuff. Anyway, this Holiday Rambler is in great condition.
Yeah, shockingly good condition.
The interior of it looks like it's been hardly used. I mean, the people who had this Holiday Rambler took immaculate care of the interior, the functionality of things like the air conditioning unit.
It was quite fortuitous, and thanks to you guys' support, we've been able to acquire this camper. So, that part's done. Next comes the technical side of getting it roadworthy. And that is where we are today, and why we are speaking to you all, is that we need your support. We want to keep this thing going.
Your support to getting this thing back on the road is vital.
And we need that RV running. So any support you can provide is greatly appreciated.
And I want to add something here on support with the RV. Yes, it needs parts. Parts are expensive. Just tires are a couple $1,000s. But we also need help with people who are mechanics. If you're local to the area, we could definitely use your help out here working on this. I have done a lot of mechanical things on our property, but this is new to me. So any help you can lend would be great. If you watched me fry myself installing the starter in my truck, you know I need some help. All right. Oh, the other thing that we could use some help with is people who are good searchers and good at looking up old parts. When you're dealing with these older RVs, it's not easy to find parts. I have had to go off of casting numbers of things to try and find parts and have them shipped from Texas, California. It could be exhausting, but people who are good at that and really enjoy this type of stuff, we invite your participation, because that is a way that you can help us get this thing on the road, even if you don't have something you can contribute financially. I mean, financially is always one of the biggest hurdles because we have to buy those things and put them in, but expertise, knowledge, and volunteering is another great way to help us get our production on the road efficiently and effectively.
And then, of course, Charlie, in his mechanical video-ness, will bring you along as he continues to...
We'll make it a comedy series, the professional RV owner, how to put your RV back together. I always say in these videos that new stuff goes in easier than old stuff comes out, but I don't want to jinx myself just yet, so.
Please, someone volunteer to help him. Okay,
right.
Are we good?
I think so.
What is that crawling? That came off of you.
I think it goes without saying that this is a really fun and enjoyable experience that everybody should go through. You could remove this plate here and get in there a little better, but it wasn't in the cards for me, so. I mean, this is fun. It's not painful at all. You can see both of those bolts have now broken off, which all of this stuff is steel, so it's all rusted and nasty. What I have decided I'm gonna have to do is take all of this off and replace that manifold, because there's just no other way that I can get this to work. All right, let's get to it.